The message stayed blue. 3 dots appeared, then vanished. And that was how it ended. No fight. No closer. Just silence, dressed as a screen. She stared at the phone until the glow faded against her skin. Around her, the cafe buzzed with the sound of people still believing in conversation. Steam curled up from her untouched cup, tracing tiny ghosts between her and the window. Outside, rain tapped gently, like it was trying to comfort her but didn't know how. Maya had sent the message at 9:47 p.m., the exact minute she used to wait for his calls. It wasn't even a long text. Just 5 words. Can we talk tonight? 5 words that once opened doors. Now they hit a wall. She should have known when he stopped replying with full sentences. When his voice over the phone began to sound like someone searching for exits. They met 2 years ago, at an airport of all places. She had missed her flight, he had missed his ride. And for 3 hours they sat side by side like strangers who already knew how the other's story would end. His name was Leo. He laughed with his eyes before his mouth. That was the first thing she fell for. Now his last scene was 2 days ago. But she knew he was online. Just not there. Not for her. Sometimes endings don't announce themselves. They dissolve. The night they fell apart wasn't loud. No slammed doors. No names thrown like knives. Just distance, slow, invisible, inevitable. Like watching fog swallow a view you loved. He said he needed time. She thought that meant he'd come back. For weeks, she practiced patience like a religion. Every notification pulled her heartbeat higher. Every silence stretched it thinner. She replayed old voice notes just to remember how "I love you" used to sound when it wasn't past tense. Her friends told her to move on. But she wasn't waiting for him. She was waiting for the version of herself that existed when he still cared. One morning, she woke up and decided to delete the chat. Her finger hovered over the screen, trembling slightly, not from doubt, but from memory. Because even though she knew the messages meant nothing now, she still remembered the first one he ever sent. "You seem like trouble." He wasn't wrong. She smiled a little, the kind that doesn't reach the eyes but still pretends to. Then she whispered, almost a goodbye, "Thanks for the trouble." And pressed delete. The screen went blank. So did something inside her. A year passed. Maya learned how to make her own coffee instead of waiting for him to text "Morning sunshine." She got a new phone. New haircut. New playlist. She wasn't healed, just quieter about the hurt. But sometimes late at night, she still scrolled through photos in her old email drafts, where she'd backed up everything before deleting him. A defense mechanism disguised as moving on. That's where she found it. A photo she didn't remember saving. Him at the pier. Wind in his hair. Her reflection faintly visible in his sunglasses. And beneath it, a note she had forgotten she wrote. "If we ever forget this day, let the sea remind us we were once infinite." She closed her laptop slowly, the weight of it more emotional than physical. Funny how love feels heavy long after it's gone. 2 days later she ran into him. Not metaphorically. Literally. She was rushing out of a bookstore when he walked in. Same eyes, same smile. But softer, like time had washed away the sharpness. He froze. She did too. Maya. Lao. Just names. 2 syllables each, but enough to fill the silence. They stood there, awkwardly, surrounded by paperbacks that promised better endings than theirs. He looked nervous, searching her face for something familiar. She looked calm, but her pulse betrayed her. He said he'd thought about calling her. She said she'd thought about not picking up. He laughed, just a breath. She smiled, because that used to be her favorite sound. "I'm sorry," he said. "For what?" she asked. "For leaving without explaining." "You did explain," she said quietly. "You just didn't stay to listen to my side." They talked for a few minutes. About work, life, the weather. All the safe topics people use to hide the real ones. Then came the silence, the kind that's both full and empty. She could feel the pull, the old gravity between them. But this time it didn't ache. It just existed. When they said goodbye, he hesitated. "Maybe we could." "No," she said gently. "Let's not rewrite what already ended well on paper." He nodded. "You're still the poet." "And you're still the reason," she replied, half smiling. He left first. And for once, she didn't watch him go. That night, she sat on her balcony with the city humming beneath her. She scrolled through her new messages, friends, coworkers, her mom reminding her about Sunday lunch. Then she saw it. An unread message. From him. Just one line. "I never stopped caring." She looked at it for a long moment. The same way you look at old photographs, grateful, but done. Then she locked her phone and whispered to the night. "I did." And for the first time it didn't feel like loss. It felt like peace. Some stories don't need an ending. They just need a pause long enough for you to breathe again. And when you do, you realize, maybe the silence wasn't punishment. Maybe it was space. Space to become someone new. Because sometimes love isn't about who stays. It's about who you become after they leave. If this story spoke to you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories where love meets life.